Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about those aha moments in science, the ones that come along and just completely rewrite the textbooks. So, what if a fundamental rule of biology, something you probably learned in high school, was just suddenly broken? Or what if a key chapter of human history had to be completely torn out and rewritten from scratch? See, that's the thing about science. It's not some dusty old book of facts that never changes. Nope. It's the story of us changing our minds. And today, we're going to look at 3 discoveries that did just that. So, let's start with our first story, the code of life. You know that rule that says once a cell decides what it wants to be when it grows up, its fate is sealed? Well, okay, so this process is called cellular differentiation. It's basically how you go from a single cell to, well, you. You've got skin cells, heart cells, brain cells. And for decades, the absolute rule, the dogma in biology, was that this was a one-way street. A skin cell was a skin cell forever. It couldn't turn back the clock. Its genetic code was locked in, period. Just look at this. An adult animal is made up of all these countless specialized cells, right? Skin, nerves, muscles, they all have their own specific job. And the thinking was, there's no way any of those individual cells could remember how to build a whole new creature from scratch. But then, in 1996, a team in Scotland decided to, try the impossible. They took a single cell, not a special stem cell, just a regular old body cell, from the mammary gland of a 6-year-old sheep. And they created her. This is Dolly. And she wasn't just another sheep. She was a living, breathing miracle that broke all the rules, the first mammal ever cloned from an adult cell. Dolly proved that the one-way street had a U-turn. That genetic code? Turns out it wasn't locked at all. It could be totally reprogrammed. And to really get how insane this was, just look at the numbers. This was not easy. They took 277 adult cells and fused them with eggs. And out of all those 277 attempts, how many live lambs did they get? Just one, Dolly. A single success that changed biology forever. Okay, so from rewriting biology, let's jump to rewriting our own human history. We're going from the world of the cell to the deep, deep past of our own ancestors. You know, the old story we were told about our early ancestors was, well, that they weren't all that impressive. The idea was they were basically scavengers, right? Picking up leftovers from other predators. The whole idea of them being sophisticated hunters with cool tools? Nah, that supposedly came much, much later. And then, in a German mine of all places, researchers found this. And this is not just some pointy stick. This is a 2.3-meter-long, perfectly balanced throwing spear. I mean, look at it. The weight is all at the front, just like a modern javelin. This was made by someone who knew exactly what they were doing, a master hunter. But here's the kicker, the age. These spears are about 400,000 years old. 400,000! Before this, the oldest spear we had was only about a quarter of that age. This one discovery pushed the whole timeline for hunting back by hundreds of thousands of years. It's a total game changer. So, you can imagine what happened next. That old theory of primitive scavengers thrown right out the window. The new evidence showed our ancestors were smart, collaborative hunters. They were working together to take down big animals. Meat wasn't a lucky snack, it was a staple. Suddenly, our family tree looked a whole lot more impressive. All right, we've rewritten biology, we've rewritten history. For our last story, let's look at the human mind and a rule about how kids learn that everyone just took for granted. Have you ever seen a little kid learn a new word? It's kind of amazing. They can hear it just once and bam, they know it. Psychologists call this fast mapping. And for years, they thought it was a special superpower just for learning language, a unique brain tool for words and nothing else. But a couple of researchers started wondering, wait a minute. Are we sure it's only for words? What if this incredible learning skill isn't just for language? What if it's for everything? So they set up this really clever experiment. They got some kids to play with a bunch of objects. For one new object, they'd casually say, this is a koba. So, new word. But for another new object, they'd say something totally different, a fact, like, my uncle gave this to me. Then they waited and tested the kids to see what they remembered. And the results were, wow. Just look at this chart. Even a month later, the kids were just as good at remembering the random fact. That's the one my uncle gave me, as they were at remembering the new word, koba. It was pretty much a tie. the conclusion was impossible to ignore. This fast mapping thing, it's not a special language tool. It's a powerful general-purpose learning machine. It sucks up words and facts about the world with the same incredible speed. Another rulebook, rewritten. So, what's the big picture here? We've got a story about a sheep, a spear, and a kid's brain. What do they all have in common? Well, they show us how science really works. In biology, we found out an adult cell's fate isn't sealed after all. In history, our ancestors were way more sophisticated than we gave them credit for. And in psychology, a kid's brain is a super learner for way more than just words. Every single time, a rule we thought was unbreakable got broken. It's a great reminder that our understanding of, well, everything, is never really finished. It just takes one discovery from a cell, from an ancient spear, from a child's mind, to make us realize we have to change everything we thought we knew. And that really leaves us with the most exciting question, doesn't it? The textbooks are constantly being updated, so you have to wonder, what fact that we all take for granted today is going to be the next big rule to be rewritten?